everybody, welcome to Crafty Anew. Today we're bringing you 3 projects, so let's get right to it. For project 1, it's our Let Freedom Ring sign. You're going to need the round sign from a Dollar Tree like shown in the video, a ruler, 3 paint pens, paintbrush, some paint, and then I've got a printable I'll be showing you later on in the video. So the first thing I did is I removed the tag using my heat gun, which makes it easier to get the tag off. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to throw on some chalk paint in white, and I'm going to paint the back of the sign just because it's easier. Painting the front of the sign, it was still wanting to show through. So I just painted the back, and I'm going to give it 2 good coats of paint. Then I'm going to take my printable that says Let Freedom Ring. I'll put the link down below in the description box. And I've got some carbon paper I'm using so that I can trace it onto my painted surface. And I'm just going to tape that down so it doesn't move. I don't have a Cricut, so I use a lot of carbon paper and to trace my stuff onto my, whatever I'm going to be doing. So you'll see me here right now. I'm just going to outline the Let Freedom Ring onto my sign. Once I get the Let Freedom Ring sign outlined, I'm going to use my paint pens and I'm going to paint it in. There you go. I knew the words would come to me sooner or later. And then once I've got that all traced, I'm just going to take it off. And the carbon paper will leave some black stuff on the white paint. I'm not worried about that. I'm going to cover it all up. And then I'm just filling in the areas that I missed when I was outlining my template. I just want to take this time to welcome everybody back to my channel. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. Thanks for subscribing. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking some fireworks printables that I print out. Again, I'll link those in the description box below. And I'm just tracing those onto my paper also. I'm just tracing those onto the sign using my carbon paper. And there you can see it came out nice and pretty. And then I'm just going to fill in the areas that I missed. And there you can see how it came out. Like I said, there's some spots on there from the carbon paper, but I'm not concerned about it. And then I'm going to use my red paint pen, and I'm going to color in the word Let and Ring. And then I'm also going to do some of my firework lines in red. So we're going to fill that all in with the paint pen. I found using a paint pen's easier. It's not as messy as it is with a paintbrush. I'm not very good at trying to outline things with a little paintbrush, so I got me some paint pens, and that's what I use to do all my delicate outlines and all that good stuff. And then I got these from Amazon. I'll link those in the description box below also where I got those. They're great. I really love these. The pens work excellent, and they're good coverage. The red, I had a little bit of hard time covering up some of the marks, but I actually liked the way it turned out, so I wasn't too concerned about it. Now I'm just going to use my paint pen in blue, and I'm going to fill in and outline the word freedom. And then I'm also going to do some lines on the fireworks. Now I kind of flubbed up on the firework down at the bottom. I made that one blue line too thick, and then I had extra blue lines, so I had to go over some of the blue lines with some of the red paint, and there you have it. You can see down there where I flubbed up, but I'm not worried about it, because this is why. I'm just going to take some sandpaper and I'm going to sand it all over, and I know some of the blue paint is going to come off and get onto the white paint, but I think it kind of makes it look a little more rustic, so I wasn't too concerned about it. And you guys probably hear my parakeet. If you're already a subscriber, you know that I've talked about her before. She gets angry when anybody's talking, so she'll sit and squawk. So if you hear some squawking, that's her, and I apologize if that bothers you, but, you know, apparently this is her house and nobody else is allowed to talk except for her. But she's my sweetie. And then now I got out some stars that I purchased off Amazon, and I'm going to put some stars in the middle of the fireworks, and I'm also going to outline the word freedom with my stars. And I'm just going to use different size stars. There's no, I mean, in this bag I got from Amazon, it came with 1,000 stars, and they're all different sizes. So, I'm just going to throw them on there. And then once I get those on there, I'm going to paint all those stars white, and I found it easier just to put them on first, and then use my white paint pen to paint them white. Just making some slits so it's easier for me to put my pipe cleaner around it. I call it pipe cleaner. And I'm going to tie that tight. I haven't quite made a video yet of how I make my bows, so if you'd like to see a video on how I make my bows, leave a comment down below and I'll make one. This one's just a simple bow. And then I'm just going to fluff it up. And then I'm going to attach it to the top of our sign. Just right there where the hanger was for the sign. And then I'm going to trim off the bottom. Make my little dovetails. Did I just really say ducktails? I'm going to make my dovetails. And there it is, our Let Freedom Ring sign. I thought it turned out so pretty. And I just hung it on my pantry door. So for project 2, we're going to make Rocket's red glare centerpiece. This was fun to make because everything was handmade. I used toilet paper rolls, paper towel rolls, some scrapbooking paper, And what I'm going to do with this flag scrapbooking paper is I'm just going to cut out the star section of it and wrap it around one of my toilet paper rolls. And I'm going to list all the supplies that you need for all three projects down in the description box for you. Then I'm just outlining what I need for the length and the width for my toilet paper roll, and I'm going to cut that out. Wanted to use a ruler to get a straight line so I can make a straight cut. A little story, my mom was telling me that when I was in first grade I had a teacher who was going to fail me because I couldn't color or cut very well. So my mom had to go down to the school and tell them, that they weren't going to hold me back because I couldn't cut or color. So I didn't get held back. Mama won. Of course, this was back in the this was back in the 70s, late 70s. They still held kids back then. They flunked you if you couldn't do something. Now I'm just going to hot glue the scrapbook paper onto the toilet paper roll. I used hot glue so that it would hold. I didn't want to use Mod Podge for this. And then I'm moving on to the paper towel roll, the larger one that I'd cut in half. And I'm just measuring out the stripe part of that same scrapbook paper. And I want the stripes going horizontally. And then once you get that cut out, you're going to glue that onto the roll the same way that you did the first one. And I'm going to just glue it to where that blue part of the star section's hidden, so all you see is the stripes. Because you'll notice the way I cut it out, there was a little piece of the blue from the star section of the scrapbook paper. And I'm just putting that on the inside where it's covered up once you roll it. I don't know if I told you, but we're making rockets out of these. I don't know if I mentioned that at the beginning. If not, I apologize. That's what we're making. We're making some rockets. And then you're going to take the rest of it. I wanted this to be star and stripe. And I'm going to roll the other toilet paper roll. I know I showed you some different scrapbook paper in the beginning, but I decided not to use that. I wanted to keep it all kind of cohesive. So we're just using that one sheet of scrapbook paper for all three of these rockets. So for the rockets, you need 2 toilet paper rolls and then a paper towel roll cut in half. And then once you have all three of those done, that's what they should look like. Now we're going to move on to the rocket tops. And what you're going to need for those is, I'm using 3 cupcake liners, which you can also use any kind of paper stock, cardstock. I mean, you can use any kind of paper. You can use cardstock, construction paper, regular printer paper if you want to. I thought that using cupcake wrappers would make the tops of the rockets look a little neater, but by the time I was done with it, you couldn't really tell. So I kind of wish I just used some cardstock, because then I also realized it's very hard to paint on aluminum cupcake wrappers, and I didn't get quite the design I wanted, but I still thought it turned out okay. I mean, it's not perfect, but it turned out alright, I guess. And I'm using the blue paint pen, and I'm going to paint one blue, one red, and then I'm going to leave the other one silver. And then once your paint's dry, you're going to cut a small slit up to the middle of it, and you're just going to fold it onto itself to make the cone shape. That's all we're trying to just make a cone shape. And then you'll see me fold it. Yep, there you go. You just fold it onto yourself. Fold it onto itself at the slit. And you just kind of have to mess with it until you get the cone shape you're looking for. And then you just hot glue it. And yeah, if you use the aluminum cupcake holders, when you use hot glue, it gets hot. Like, I burnt myself through the aluminum foil. So this is something, if you're going to let your kids do it, I wouldn't let them use the aluminum foil cupcake wrappers, because it does get hot, or, you know, just glue it for them or something. Because this is a craft any child can make. I mean, if I still had young ones, they'd definitely be in this one with me, but I've got a 16 and 18-year-old. They don't much like crafting anymore. And then I'm just going to hot glue the tops to the, okay, this is the paper towel roll, yeah, so I'm just gluing the top to the paper towel roll. And then now you can see it's really starting to look like a rocket. And then I'm going to paint the other cupcake wrapper in red. And we're going to do the same thing. Once it dries, you're going to cut a slit to the center, and then you're going to fold it onto itself to make a cone shape. And then you're just going to glue that onto one of your toilet paper rolls. I used the blue one for the red and white, and then I'm using the red one for my star one, and then I'm using the silver one for the blue and red. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not a subscriber already. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified of all of my future uploads. And give me a like. Let me know how much you liked this video. And leave a comment in the comment section below to let me know what your favorite project was. Okay, so once you have all three of those done, Now what I'm going to do is take one of these weighted, they're weights for balloons from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to tear it apart because I want the little frillies at the end. So I took the little frillies off each of the balloon weights, and I'm going to put them in the bottom of my rocket to make it look like colorful flames coming from the rocket. And we're just going to hot glue that down in there. And then here I decided, because I wanted to see how long I needed the skewers for the rockets, so I cut me a piece of floral foam, and then I'm going to put that into this bucket that I also purchased from the Dollar Tree. And we're going to put that down in there and kind of measure it to see how tall I want the skewers. And then you're going to take another skewer and you're going to do it the same way with the rocket. So you're going to need 3 skewers for this project. And then we're going to cut it down to size. And you're just going to hot glue the skewer inside the toilet paper roll. Other frilly stuff from that other balloon weight, and we're going to put that into the butt of this rocket also to make it look like red flames coming out. And now what I'm doing is, on the third one, I want all these stars off this balloon weight. So I just cut off all the little stars, and I'm going to glue those inside of that one. And it's going to look like there's stars coming out of the rocket. I loved that. I thought it turned out so cute. And then again, I'm just cutting the skewer down to size because I want them all different sizes when they're coming out of the pail. Part of a star banner thing from the Dollar Tree, so I just took 2 of the stars out because I like the size of them, and I just put a bamboo skewer on them. And the reason why I used 2 is because it's going in a center piece, so I didn't want anybody to see the skewer. I wanted to look like one cohesive piece, so I just put a star in the front and a star in the back. What it should look like once you're done with that. And I left that one a full-size skewer. I didn't cut it down. And then I decided to make me 2 wooden stars on skewers, and this was a pack of stars I got from Amazon that had different sizes in it. And again, I'm doing the same. I'm going to need 2 stars of the same size so that, you know, when you're looking at the back, it still looks the same as the front. And I'm going to paint one of these stars red with my red paint pen. And then I'm going to paint the other star in white with my white paint pen. And I tell you, I had the hardest time getting this white to show up on wood. I love the paint pens, but the white I wasn't too fond of. It didn't show up very good. Of course, they're not chalk paint pens. It's just the regular acrylic, so I think that's why it didn't show up very well. So anyways, now I'm just going to glue my skewer onto this, and then I'm going to put the other star on top of that. And you're going to do the same thing with the red stars. And now I'm going to take a scarf that I purchased from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to wrap our flower pail in the scarf because I want it to look more patriotic. I don't want the galvanized look for this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hot glue one of the edges of the scarf, and I'm going to wrap it around the pail. Now this will take some time and some maneuvering because the scarf is hard to work with. It's not a very good it's not a very giving material. It's almost too giving. So you just have to work with it slowly. And I just used hot glue and worked with it and rolled it up until I got what I liked. Until it covered the pail nicely, I guess I should say. And I kind of wanted this sloppy look. I didn't want it to look like it was glued tightly on there. I mean, I just want it to look like it was a covering. And then you can see what it looks like once I'm all done with it. I'm still trying to glue some of that stuff down there. And then you're just going to start making your arrangement. I just started putting stuff in there and arranging it and rearranging it until I got what I liked. I am also using an American flag that I purchased from the Dollar Tree. They sell 3 packs of these. So you can see right there, that's how it turned out. I think it turned out so cute. Now I had another weighted, balloon weight that I put in the center there so that it would fill the center out a little more. But I love the way this turned out, and this is going to be my kitchen table centerpiece. So for our next project, for project 3, we're going to do roses, or red, white, and blue jars. And for this you'll need some food coloring. You'll need 3 of the flower picks from Dollar Tree, 3 ball jars, which those are pretty easy to come by, some jute twine, and 2 of the American flags out of that 3-pack that I was just talking about in the last project. You only need the red and the blue out of that package of dye. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make me some jute twine bows. They're just little tiny bows that I make where you wrap it around your finger a few times. And there's the flower picks I chose. 1 carnation and 2 rose flower picks. And then now I'm making my little bows. I'm just going to wrap it around my finger. I think I did 6 or 7 times, I don't remember. And then just wrap the excess twine around there to make your bow around the middle. Tie it off, and then I ended up adding another tail to it so that it has 2 little tails. Yeah, now I'm just adding some more string to add a second tail to it. Or I'm sorry, jute twine. Some jute twine. And then I'm going to wrap my jar just below that bottom lip. I'm going to wrap it about 10 times around with my jute twine just so I'd have something to attach the bow to. And there you can see I hot glued the bow on. That's how it should look once it's finished. So you're going to do all 3 jars that way. You're going to make 3 of your bows and wrap it around, all 3 jars. And then you're going to take your 3 jars and you're going to fill them with water. And in one of the jars, you're going to put a couple drops of the red food coloring. And you're going to mix it up really good so that it looks nice and red. These make great, like if you're having an outdoor party and you have real flowers, these will make great centerpieces for your tables. And then I'm just trimming off the flowers so that I can arrange them in the jars the way I want them, because I like the greenery on these, so I'm just raising it up to the top of the flower so that it makes it look more full. So you're just gonna, arrange this however you want. This is just my arrangement. I'm just clipping off the flowers and putting them in there the way that makes my eyes pleased. And then there's one jar done. So the next jar I'm just going to leave clear. I don't want any dye in this one. So we've already did a red dye. Now we're doing a clear dye. And then I put the carnations in that one. And now I'm going to make the 3rd jar blue water. So I'm going to put in a couple drops of the blue food coloring in it. I'm going to stir that up really well. And then make your arrangement however you want it. Like I said, I just used some roses from the Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to put my 2 flags on the end ones. I have red, white, and blue. And I want my flags in the red and blue. And I put the carnations in the clear. And there you have it. Isn't that so cute? I love the colored water. So that's all of our projects for today. Hope you guys enjoyed them. Hope I gave you some inspiration. Please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And have a safe and happy 4th of July. And stay tuned for episode 4 of my upcoming 4th of July series. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.